Well, hello, friends. How's it going? Happy Wednesday to you. And if you're joining us on the replay, a happy replay day to you as well. We're live and excited to welcome you to today's Level Up conversation. So, there's so much happening today.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, I'm Winnie, your host, Forbes contributor, CNBC council member, and award winning financial pro, here to keep you on top of relevant trending business news. But most importantly, you're a part of today's discussion. It's always a treat to be here with you, and I so appreciate you tuning in. We will be monitoring and sharing audience feedback throughout the program, so thanks so much for being part of today's program. Now, let's start with the market, let you know how it closed, because I think you're going to like this news. The Dow closed up 137 points. Nasdaq closed down 7. The S&P still closed up over 13 points. Now, the Dow Industrial average today jumped to a record today as investors felt much more confident about the recent news, better than expected earnings reports and so much more. But you're also wondering, well, like that's good and all, but we've seen positive earnings in the past, but what's the change here? Now, you're might be asking, is it because of the positive corporate earning reports? And could it be because of recent changes in the month-to-month inflation? Has it started to level off? We've actually seen a little bit of leveling in the last month-to-month inflation data. And could it also be because we're seeing the COVID Delta variant starting to slow down here in the United States? Well, I would think that it's probably a combination of all these things and possibly more. Certainly, we're looking towards the holidays. We're hoping that things are getting a little bit better. We're certainly hoping that COVID is closer and closer to being behind us so that things can get a little bit back to normal. There's been just a lot of news, but also, we're very excited to see that a lot of the companies, believe it or not, are doing pretty well. In fact, today, after the market closed, Tesla reported third quarter earnings results, and they were actually record earnings. So congratulations to the team at Tesla. And Verizon also jumped during the market hours today, rising over 2% in one day, with earnings that topped estimates thanks to, what do you know, our growing adoption of 5G. So we like our phones here and we like them quick. So certainly Verizon is seeing a benefit there. But today I also wanted to share with you in an article that I contributed to CNBC with the one and only Sophia Pitt. She's at CNBC, a reporter there, and with Grow, which is I think with Acorn as well. And it was a great article, and I think a very, very important topic. We had a recent discussion about the changes that are coming to Social Security. Now, these are changes that are going to take place next January, that are like just in a few months here. So if you have family members, they might not even be aware of this. To be honest with you, I actually talked to my mom and I said, Mom, did you know you're actually going to get a boost in Social Security? She's been receiving for some time. And she said, why? I said, well, because of inflation. She said, how much? And I told her, and she was actually very, very shocked. She was pleasantly surprised and certainly relieved because, like many of us, right, she's gone to the supermarket. She's seen the increases in her grocery bill. She said, just recently, I went to the grocery store and it actually came out because I literally had nothing to buy because things have increased so much in price that I felt like I couldn't buy anything. And so certainly the government has taken account of this, and therefore the cost of living adjustment for Social Security is being increased at its highest level in many, many years. In fact, the pandemic has caused such labor shortages, supply chain challenges, and this has all led to an leap in inflation. So Social Security is also one of the biggest sources of retirement income for most Americans who are retired. So this increase is so necessary for millions of Americans who rely on Social Security for their livelihood. So interesting enough, a lot of people say, I've heard this, and I've been on various news shows when they've asked, well, what are people going to do with this extra money from Social Security? You're almost talking about 6%. For the average American, you're talking about an extra $100 a month in Social Security benefits. Well, my take is this, although it may seem like a large amount, I actually think in most cases, people are going to just use this money to pay for things like their mortgage or their rent, to provide for utilities, food, and more. And if possible, if you're fortunate enough to not be able to have to use all of that for your living like monthly budget, then I would suggest putting it aside for your emergency fund, putting aside for that rainy day fund, right? We just don't know when things could change. But certainly this is welcome news. And certainly this is to keep up with our higher inflation costs. And for those who are beneficiaries of these Social Security payments, the good news here is also you don't have to do much. Starting January of 2022, you should see that reflected in your monthly benefit. So those of you who maybe you're not receiving Social Security yet, like myself, call your family members, call your loved ones, maybe your senior citizen neighbors, and let them know and get the word out that this is something that's going to be coming. I find that it's definitely something that people feel a lot less stressed about, knowing that there's going to be an uptick on Social Security payments very, very soon. So lots of good information there. I thought it was very, very helpful. And I'm excited to share that with you. And thank you so much to Sophia Pitt at CNBC once again for having me and letting me contribute to your article. Thank you for all the hard work that the team at CNBC do day in and day out. Definitely some of my favorite people on the planet. A big hello also to CrossX Fighter and Joshua joining us from YouTube Live, and so many others joining us on all different platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I know I'm coming in a little later than I normally do. It's been a very, very hectic day, so it's always a treat. But do this. Thank you so much. Do you know that I appreciate you so much for joining me, of course, on all times, and of course, especially today. And thanks so much for also joining me again on Friday, because on Friday, we're going to do my other show, In the Loop, with my one and only co-host, Greg Nibbler. And we're going to be breaking down more news that you can use, how to navigate business headlines, and of course, what Apple, Google, and the others released this week. So much news, so much good stuff. It's a lot of fun that we have to talk about. So I look forward to seeing you again this Friday. That'll be 2:30 Pacific if you're joining on West Coast. And if you're on the East Coast, it'll be 5:30 Eastern. So I can't wait to see you on Friday. And of course, if you have any questions or comments or anything that you just want to talk about, definitely reach out to me. I'm always available via direct message, or you can just share a post and tag me on it. Always happy to hear from you. Stay well, be well, and I'll see you again on Friday. Take care now.